just your reflections last week and how you lifted the boys this week to give it the second test?
Oh, it's been quite easy, guys. We've had a good week. The weather's been good, so that always helps getting out. And I just think there's been a huge. Admittedly, it was disappointing the way it sort of came to an end, but I think the confidence that the performance that we produced was quite easy to get back on the horse. The boys have been in good spirits, and really looking forward to this weekend to go one better, really.
Bloemfontein, are you expecting a similar atmosphere to draw in?
I hope so. It was, like I mentioned after the game, it was, for me, I can't think of many better places I've played rugby than last Saturday in terms of the atmosphere and the crowd and everything that went with it. So we're hoping that it's going to be the same. It was quite nice. We enjoyed actually coming out. We got there about 10, 15 minutes earlier. And I think the players quite enjoyed just getting out on the pitch, having 10, 15 minutes of, I suppose, just soaking it up a little bit. So we're very much hoping that'll be the same this week. And obviously going to be a pretty big crowd up there. I think it's sold out as well. So just another chance for us to go and test ourselves against the world champions.
It's a different South African side. 14 starting changes to 1923. Sir Gareth Edwards has said it's devaluing the series and disrespecting Wales. Do you believe that?
Oh, no, not at all. You look at the players that they've picked. You'd almost say that the players that they've picked for this weekend are the real informed players in terms of currently. I know that the side that we played last weekend are renowned, experienced World Cup winners and all that, and the rest of that. But this team is, you've got Pollard at 10. Who's going to glue that a little bit better as well, you'd have thought. So they've got some real exciting form players in that team who, when you look at the team, look at the names, when I saw that they made 14 changes, I was thinking, who are they going to bring in? And then you looked at the team sheet. I don't expect this to be anything other than an incredibly tough game on Saturday. And for me, it doesn't because it does. We make changes every autumn, don't we? In terms of when we play, whether it's Georgia or Fiji or whoever it is. So for me, that's nothing in it for me. I think that South Africa have got their, they can pick who they want. So they're going to be very strong, whoever they put out.
Andre Pollard at 10, the captain as well this weekend.
Look, extremely experienced player. Does the basics very well. Just settles the team down. I think he just gives them a focal point, really, and I think there's a notable difference when he doesn't play. So I think that's almost the biggest compliment you can give him. Really, he's going to make sure that they play in the right areas, well from experience. Just do the basics really well, and when you play against him, you have to be very, very good, and you have to try and keep your error rate down against him because he's a type of player who punishes errors, and that's what we focus on this week.
Tactical approach last week,
absolutely. I thought we were good value for our lead at half time. Admittedly, probably we just let them back in with. We spoke about this week. We made probably in the build up to the first couple of tries they scored. I think we made 6 errors on the bounce, which against a team like South Africa just coughs up field position, coughs up possession, and you're under the pump in the driving line in particular, and that's something that we've got to make sure we're better at. So there's it'll be very, very similar from our end this week. We're looking to move the ball around when we can, take our opportunities, play in the right areas. But absolutely, I think we were pretty much spot on the money with our approach last week. Just a couple of key moments we didn't quite get right.
There's a lot of talk last week about obviously the last time we played was against Italy. We talked about pride back and knowing your attitude, and obviously you still lost the game, but performance.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably all of you guys sitting here probably didn't quite expect that, and in a way, I think we didn't surprise ourselves because we believed in what we were doing. But I think it gave, like I said to Gar, it gave boys, the performance has given us a real boost this week. I think if we'd have, like you said, I mentioned that it's a really important start in a series or getting the first one, a good performance or a result in the first one. And I think that's going to give us a load of confidence going into this week and hopefully into a decider in a week's time. Yeah. I really believe that I believe that where we played last Saturday made a real difference for us. I think it was one of those games where we didn't. It was a real treat almost for us, you know. So I know, like you said, we've always needed a bit of time to get going in previous campaigns, but I thought that really helped us. I thought we had a real edge to us, and we make no apologies for that, for trying to get sort of amongst South Africa under their skin a little bit and turn it into a bit of a scrap as well, because we're well aware that if we just gift them everything and roll over and sort of be whiter than white, then you're going to come off second best quite comfortably. So I think that was a good approach from us to have a real edge to us, and just really enjoyed the atmosphere last weekend. And I think that's something, again, like I mentioned to Garth, we want to try and replicate and build on that. So for us, it was a really good start. Disappointing the way it ended, but a really positive start for us to build on for the next couple of weeks.
Any other questions?
As we came third district first to actually put it over the line, you cut down entire week to review next week. What are you targeting to correct this week? And I know that the box is not different. What's the chances actually to attack?
Yeah, I think to answer the first part of the question, we've targeted a little bit of our discipline. Was I think we lost the penalty count 19. I think it was 19 we gave away in the end. So you're always going to be under a little bit of pressure when you give that many penalties away, rightly or wrongly. So I think from our point of view, that's a big thing, and not doubling up on errors. I think we spoke a big focus for us this week is if we make an error or concede a penalty, the next phase of play is really important for us, because if you double up or treble up, then you're in a bit of trouble against this team. And then to answer the second part of your question, I really believe that the team we're playing on Saturday is probably a team which is a little bit more match sharp, because they've been playing probably a little bit more. You look at, in particular, say 12 is, obviously playing in the Prem. He's been the form player in the Premiership, so it's not as if they've managed to swap a World Cup winner and a brilliant player in Dialande out for Esterhazy coming in. It's it certainly doesn't weaken them. So I think you look at there's lots of changes to the team, but I honestly don't believe that many of the changes weaken their side. I really believe that. So I think from our point of view, we're almost more wary, because we're not quite sure, perhaps as much as we know exactly what sort of, perhaps your Am and Dialande or your Mapimpi and Colby and things like that. We know more about those players as well. So it's a little bit more. We're probably a little bit more cautious this week, and aware that they're in really good form players as well. But there's no doubt that if we can play in the right areas, look to put South Africa under pressure as we did in that first half, then there will be opportunities and there will be sort of cracks in their defence for us to exploit. Yeah, there's some dangerous boys back there, isn't there? So it will be important, but I thought Kieran Hardy was excellent last week in terms of his control from 9, in terms of his accuracy from his box kicking in particular. I thought we controlled the area of the field fairly well. So like I said, that's always important when you play any South African side, but counter that with I suppose the excitement and the pace that they've got in that back three for this weekend, it's even more important. Yeah.
But you guys had a 5-minute breakdown. Probably, as you say, 4 players that are coming in.
Yeah.
You have to work harder this week.
Yeah, I thought, like you said, we had some good success at I thought Tommy Reffel on debut was excellent, wasn't he? In terms of shone really well for us. But like you said, I think you look at the back row that they've picked again, is probably more of a threat over the ball, possibly a bit more dynamic as well from Pretoria Test. So again, it's just one of those where again we've seen probably slightly less of those types of players, but what they are is they're players which are in really good form for their clubs and coming in with tons of confidence. So we're going to have to make sure better there. And we put in a really good showing last week. In my opinion, I think we're going to have to improve probably 10-15% to get anything out of Saturday.
Oh, 2 more questions. So Bata.
Dan, I know you've spoken at length about, the side playing at Loftus and so on. Do you feel as if this tour was timely for the team itself, your team, and the guys finding themselves enough to?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I think it would have been. It's kind of we knew that what we were facing in terms of the team we were facing, the opposition, the players, but where we were playing as well. I think it really suited us, like I mentioned to Matt there. I think it really suited us to be in a hostile environment, backs against the walls, with a real excitement of playing there. So I think it's, like you said, it's come at a good time for us to roll our sleeves up. And I said to the boys before the game, I said, we need just to soak up the atmosphere, and sometimes that's all you need is a couple of extra percent to just focus the mind, focus your body a little bit more, and get really excited and want to, and I suppose want to put that little bit extra in. So it's come at a really good time for us, and hopefully it's, like I said, it's the same again in Bloemfontein this weekend, and we can make it really exciting and a little bit more enjoyable in the last couple of minutes.
When you look at the activation that you will be in charge of, that you may have engaged from a continuity perspective, because as you rightly said, that you have played against Andre and JC individually, but they didn't play together at the same.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I think what you've got probably in our team, we've got, like you said, players who've played with a lot with each other over the years. But I think what you've got in the South African back division is it's not just, I suppose, just hand-picked players who are just chucked in and given a cap. They're pretty decent players in their own right. So when you put some good players together under obviously a very good coaching setup that South Africa have, then they're going to be pretty organised and pretty switched on and form players anyway. So I don't see that being too much of an issue for them. I think again, it'll start up front. If we can put them on the back foot and make life difficult for sort of their 9 and 10 to be able to control things, then maybe that will come into it a little bit more. Whereas if we don't quite get it right and we get sort of bulldozed a little bit and give them quite an easy day, then that continuity issue won't be a problem for them when they've got such good players in the ranks.
What Andre says in particular, you did still a lot of it in the UK. It was absolutely immense for Holland. What do you think he brings to the team that's slightly different from a 100 product, not to call it a David that you see?
Yeah.
Really
He's got an unbelievable kicking game. In fairness, he's got a huge left peg. So that's going to help at altitude again on Saturday. That's going to be a huge weapon for them. But I think what he does, he just, especially when he plays for Quins, he's their go-for. Quins play with quite a lot of sort of passes and continuity and move the ball quite a lot. But what they've got in him is they've got a guy who can get them over the gain line, which makes life easier however you want to play. So I'd agree. I think that what he's going to bring is a couple of little subtle differences from playing in Quins. He's used to playing with some sort of quick guys with good footwork and good hands and things. So I think it'll suit them playing him on Saturday with the players they picked around him. And like I said, his kicking game is really impressive as well from a 12.